Hello everyone, now it's time for game 3, and this time it's against an Orcs and Goblin. Yeah, quite a huge army really, with a lot of different stuff. You can see here his deployment, and you have three chariots. Two of them are on the flank with some fast cav goblins. You have one huge unit, I think it's around 40 plus, of orcs big guns. It's normal orcs big guns. You have a unit of goblin in front with spears and shield. You have a troll. Behind the goblins you have a big unit of black orcs, where his BSB and level 4 mage was. And in the other unit side, it's a long unit of goblins, which was around 50 or something, and there's another unit of goblin. You have 3 spear chuckas and another unit of wolf riders. So what I was thinking here was they had a lot of combat units, but a lot of chaff that didn't really was going to do him any good. So my goal here was removing all his chaff and just pick them down and make sure he can't get use of them with all my ranks. And of course be a little careful that I don't want to fight the two big units at the same time, but since it's only 2 units this time, which are dangerous, I just need to make sure I don't fight both at once and redirect them, so we'll see how that goes. Next you can see my deployment. I decided to put the bell. Bell is quite in the center, but it's maybe a little far away from the clan rats and the slaves, which are on my flank. My plan now was to use my giant rat and my slave to just hold that flank, make sure he will not be able to use the big unit or the chariots in an efficient way on this flank. Just redirect and just kill things. Also put the sails there to take wounds on his chariots and maybe kill one before he get them over. Hopefully the orc chariot. The bell unit with my hell pit are in the center, and I place my hell pit such as I can go either way, either side of the house, depending on how he will move. I put my one unit of slaves on the one side, close to my warp lightning cannon, and I have one unit coming in reserve of my gut runners and one unit starting in the house. So I'm going to use that now. As you can see, I got the first turn, and I started to move out of the house and used the Congo line out, and that activated all his fanatics. So I got out all his fanatics in turn 1, so that was quite nice. So I was quite happy about that. I lost in the end all my gut runners for it, but still, it's one thing out of the picture. And either way, I just moved up. I got to help it on that side, and hopefully I will be able to hold back the other unit of combat orcs. Okay, so it's Orcs and Goblins turn 1. He started by moving up his trolls. The one looks like he wanted to block my hell pit, and he started to get up with his little block of goblins. So I don't know why he put it that way. I guess he wanted to bait and charge and get me to run into his big steadfast unit and just make me stand there. But the bell units I'm not afraid to take it into combat against anything, so long it's not too much. So I will happily take that invite. He also got to take off some storm vermins with his shooting, or I think it was the magic. And on the hell pit he tried to use all his chukkas, but it didn't hit. So the chukkas is not doing too hot for him right now. He moves up with his orc biggerns, as you can see, to try to hold off that flank. And I don't know if I agree with it. He can easily just ignore all the slaves. They're not doing anything anyway. But the sad thing was, he had really made himself stuck in there. He could not move his Black Orc unit, so he actually needed... So he had moved up the one unit, and then he started to move the other unit of goblins to the side to make the Black Orcs go up, but still he was like 1 inch too close to it, so it was able to actually move. I think it was a unit there. Yeah. Well, anyway, he didn't was able to move it up for some reason. I think that was the reason. So yeah, that was his turn. Okay, so Skaven turn 2. I just charged in. I have not was not afraid to do that, and as you can see, I won in both combats, and they just overrun straight on. So now I'm ready to fight on this goblin unit and his Black Orc if you do choose to charge. The other way, I just turn up my slaves, as you can see on the left, and I wanted to make sure that the chariot could not charge my warp lightning cannon, and with that make sure that he needed to have more than one wheel. So so how I'm standing right now, you will not be able to get past me with just one wheel. So I think that was quite good. My other giant rat also moved up to make sure that his big gun unit couldn't just turn around and help his friends. So I am in his front arc, so he must charge my front. So yeah, it looks like that after Skaven turn 2. Orcs and Goblins turn 2. So he started off by charging my bell with his goblins, and he charges my slaves with his troll, and he charges my giant rat with his orcs. So he's going to easily win that. I'm not sure if he will actually win against the slaves. It's a lot of attack and a lot of steadfast, so combat rest from the ranks. So I don't think he actually will win that, but we will see. He also wasn't able to get his charge with his wolf chariot on my lightning cannon, so he tried to like wheel it and move it up on the side, but I think he failed his march block or something, so he couldn't get very far. So I will still be able to see him. So what he did was moving the chariot the other way, so my slaves could not be able to charge it. Yes, I think here, as you can see, he did some magic on me or something. I do not remember, but it made my clan rats flee. So they are running in a really weird direction. I think maybe it was a flank charge from his wolf riders. Yes, I think that made him break and run. And he did put up some wounds on my sails. I think that was with his shooting. After the combat, my bell won. So it overrun into the chakka, and my turn now. I'm still in combat with the chakka, and I got into combat with his. No, this turn I charged into the goblins, and I charged into his chariot. So there. I also, in my magic phase, was able to. I also was able to move out my one engineer, So as you can see, he are not in line of sight of either the chariot or his orcs. I also got my my brass orb engineer out to block for his orcs once again. He cannot charge through me, and I am his front, so he can either choose here to reform or charge me. He will not be able to get into my bell or anything like that this turn. I won against the goblin unit, and then I went into the chukka. So I'm stuck there now. My help it will win there. So that's quite nice. Okay. So the next picture. Orcs and Goblins turn 3. So he charged into my giant rat on the left flank, so he will easily break that. He charged my the orcs into my brass orb, and I made a stand and shoot with orb. The range was correct, so I got a perfect hit, and I hit a lot of those orcs, and he failed almost every single test. It was crushing. So he lost about almost half his group, and then he fled. So on the charge he just broke and ran away. So that was that was really unlucky by him, but quite fortunate for me. He also got his black orcs into the into my bell unit. So yeah, and last turn my slaves got into one of his chukkas on the left. So doing quite well now. This is quite going my way. He also moves up his wolves to be able to maybe charge my engineer later. Yeah. So Orcs and Goblins turn 3. The black orcs actually lost on his turn. So they ran and got run down by the bell. So yeah, he's he lost his big fighting block, and the other one's fleeing. So it's looking quite grim now. And Skaven turn 4. So actually here we ended the game. I just moved up, but I think we didn't have too much time left. I mean, we are both quite huge horde army, so moving everything and doing everything is taking quite a while. But even so, it was a major victory for the Skaven. He did not have anything left, and I think if he had just gone on, the bell would just wreck through whatever he had left. There was so few orcs left. So yeah, it was quite a nice opponent. So we had a lot of fun, even though it was quite unlucky with his black orcs breaking like that. But yeah.